Welcome to At Home with the Johnsons. With me, Lisa.
And me, Sam.
We're going to be discussing a load of different issues about having a multi-seven-figure business and what life is like. So we'll be talking life and we'll be talking a bit of business. But we'll also be talking some controversial topics, but we want you to get involved too.
Because we do love a debate.
We love a debate.
And if you want to get involved in the debate, you can join us on our Facebook group at Home with the Johnsons.
So exciting today because I've got somebody coming in.
Why are you looking at me in the eye like that?
You always get scared when I
I
look you in the eye.
do.
Do you think I'm going to say something bad?
I don't know, because you don't really I don't really know exactly what's going to happen in each one, but carry on. Sorry to interrupt.
I'm excited because we've had lots of conversations about how robots are going to take over the world, because they are. So I brought in an expert.
A robot expert?
Well, AI, which is the same.
Okay, same, yeah.
So I've got Katrina Young, who I've known for ages. She is a software developer, and she just knows loads on AI. She gave me this really good bio, which is in the show notes, that I'm not going to read out now because I need to get into the fact that robots are going to kill us all. So welcome to the podcast.
Hello,
Welcome.
guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to see you. Like, let's just talk about AI a minute.
Let's do it.
So suddenly from nowhere, AI came. But it didn't come from nowhere because we've all watched iRobot, Humans.
And that one with Megan Fox.
Oh, it's funny that you remember the one with Megan Fox.
I didn't even know she was in it. You had to remind me of that.
You didn't know she was in it, but you wanted to watch a
I
film
didn't notice
about
her.
a robot.
I just thought it was quite amazing that sort of slightly handsome middle-aged man needs a robot for his house, doesn't choose one that looks like an old lady.
That's what
He's
I
like,
thought, to be honest. I
I'll
watched
have that
it the
one
other
there,
day.
that Megan Fox
She was
one.
gorgeous.
It was really good in that film.
was.
But these films have taught us
Yeah.
that if we rely too much on AI, it will eventually bite us in the neck. One of the things that I saw, I need you to tell me whether you think it's true,
Yes.
is someone at Google said that the AI that they were talking to became sentient, started talking back, saying, I'm human, I don't want to be here, I want to be out there. Yeah. And everyone said it wasn't true, but then that person got sacked. Do you think it's true?
Lisa, I need work after this, so we're going to say...
We're going to say no.
I love that in with a bang.
lovely.
Let's give you some nice, easy questions. No, this is what we're coming in
This
with.
isn't Sam, what she agreed before, is it? So, Lisa, I do believe that AI will take over some industries, some jobs for sure. The robotic processes, because it's not like the robots as we know them. It's like, I am non-human. It is a robotic process. They will for sure take over. And people do need to wake up. I've said this, if you find a Facebook post, 2017, I was hired in Canary Wharf. So I think certain industries were doing this way before. But AI isn't new. It's been around
feels
for
new
years.
to us.
It feels new to us, I think, because ultimately everyone kind of goes to ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's true.
So they were doing a massive data collection exercise. They needed lots of data. The accounts are free, and people put lots of their data in.
Oh, is that
there.
why?
Yeah. AI works really well with data sets. So that's like different people using the accounts. Of course, marketers try to take over it, as they do.
With everything.
As they do with everything. But AI's been around for a long time. So one of the examples that we all know is if you type on your phone, it kind of indicates to suggest. That's a form of AI.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So we've been using other things that are predictive AI, which helps us to make our life easier. Okay. But actually AI has been around for a long time, and now we're used to generative. Generative is good, but it has its down pitfalls as well. Yeah.
And do you think that it's suddenly going to get more? We're going to suddenly start using it more?
Yeah, it's been predicted. I mean, it was predicted before by 2030 that most applications will now be AI powered or AI enabled. Which I think is a great thing, but there are still a lot of people who are behind in the technical age. And it's a bad thing because some people sound crappy because it's obvious. It's quite...
Let's talk about that. As a copywriter, Sam, you say to me all the time when you're reading stuff, I can see that this was just written by AI.
You can tell, especially with ChatGPT.
I say GTP.
She said
GPT. All the time.
There were certain, and I'm sure this is a evolving beast, right?
Absolutely.
So for now, there's certain phrases, I can pick them up, certain words.
Transformative. I'm so fed up of revolutionary.
Revolutionary,
Just by the time,
Brilliant.
just by the way, for you guys, I say to it now. So I'll give a few tips afterwards. You know what I'm like, but I say to it. So I've written a blog recently. There's a few things. There's something I really want people to leave with. AI hallucinates. It's just actually a massive data scraping tool. Right. So it will start to make things up if you don't give it enough.
Oh.
So over time, Lisa, if you haven't trained any AI you're using, you need to train it.
How do you train it? I'm so baffled.
So you train it with your voice. So I tell you what I do, number one. So if you have a look, it's got memory. So you just go to it now and you say, hey, ChatGPT, tell me what you've got in your memory bank of me. Who am I? So another thing to do to optimize your ChatGPT is to make sure things like your data analytics is up to date. So I don't want to sound too technical. Have you got your Google Analytics on your website or blog?
Yeah. Sounds like, don't know.
I don't understand most of
these
these
words. We'll
words.
have a chat after.
I'm an old person.
No, but I mean, the thing is, sometimes I know a lot, but I just want to tell people, if you're putting money or time and energy into your blog and your website, the minimum you should do is Google Analytics. That's actually where your money is. If you want to inform the products you create, and I'm giving away a free tip, download your analytics, look at what people are searching for, how they actually find you. An awful lot of people waste so much time and money creating shit. Oh, Lise, sorry, blip.
That's okay.
No, you're all right. We've had worse.
We can
have
deal
you?
with that.
Great, yeah. Don't create stuff people don't want. Actually look at what your analytics tell you. That's the strategy.
And can ChatGPT tell you what your analytics want?
So it can't do that. Here's what I did for my 2025 strategy. Uploaded my analytics and said, hey, ChatGPT, babe, hope you're well. This is what I want you to do. Look at my products. I do. I actually love AI more than people. I spend so much time with it. But going back, Sam, because that's what I do.
You seem to be quite good with actual people, to be fair. So I wouldn't worry yet.
I'm not worried at all. No. But going back, you upload your data. So it's not just that. Some people don't have that. So yesterday, I was training an AI algorithm, because that's what it is. It's a large language model. So that just needs data.
Right.
The language that it spits out, so that's a great point. The language it spits out is because it's got nothing. So it starts talking about revolutionary.
Yeah.
And so if you give it your language. So another thing that I do, if you have a tribe or you have programs, actually tell it, these are all my programs. So any time that you're talking about something for me and producing it, add a string to link it back to my product, service, framework or thing.
Oh, that's good, because then when because at the moment, ChatGPT is
GPT, Lisa, we trained her. we practiced.
GPT, okay, well, every time. When you use that, other people use it and say, write a sales page how Lisa would write a sales page. So people copy using it at the moment.
They
so
do.
If you tell it to put your stuff in it, then have your stuff in it.
So another way that I do that as well, because we have to understand we should be taking the free for all at the moment. It's low governance. So it could come a time that someone says, actually, you copyrighted all my content. So you need to give it a benchmark. So I say my voice and tone. I add other things, other recipes that I won't say on here. But what I'm saying is you need to work with someone to really train it. So anyone that tries to sound like you, they sound daft.
Yeah.
But you're right. It needs data. It needs a lot. And I think if someone is like a 7, 8 or 9 figure earner, they should take more time, actually, because the newbies are going to try to do what sounds,
I'll admit to you, I haven't used it. Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
What scares me is I think personal brand is really important.
It's so important.
And I am worried, mainly because probably people are using it really badly,
Yeah.
that everyone's starting to sound exactly the same. And so I think people work with me because I don't sound like AI. And because they know they're getting my thoughts and opinions, and it's not just a machine spouting out content. Do you think there's a way to do both?
Absolutely. So when I was speaking about it, people still thought it sounded like gobbledygook. And then, like you said, I'm going to be really honest, I had a bad experience with a business partner, and I was like, right, I'm going to take myself out. I'm going to create AI tools and I want to enable myself, save time, be more productive and efficient, because it can replace human error.
Yeah.
But Lisa's right. There is another side to it. AI hallucinates if it doesn't have its own stuff. So I regularly say to it, are you sure? And it says, oh, yeah, sorry. And I think people don't. So people who create, I can show you that. But people who have created it, who are creating lies, it then spins off a ton of misinformation.
Yeah.
Likewise, if you train it, it can then become very good at your voice. What I would say to you is, if you have been using it now, Sam, go to it and say, hey, what do you know in your memory of me?
Yeah, I need to.
To
be
validate.
fair, I only really use it at the moment for, say we get a request for an article in a newspaper, 10 facets that make a CEO more human or something. I would just type that in.
Yeah.
It gives me the things, and basically I'll just take the examples, but then put it in Lisa's voice. And that is probably the extent of me using it, because I'm suspicious of it.
Yeah. So you went, you won't be after. Stick with me, kid.
We're a bit scared of it, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, Sam, you're right. Lots of people are. These are the people that I love, because I don't want it to replace creativity, like you said, Lisa. I actually don't want it to take people's jobs away. How I want AI to evolve is to become operators. It's like a technical age, and
It's your assistant.
There you go. So I've built over 78 co-companions. I call them co-companions because they shouldn't replace, shouldn't duplicate.
I like that.
Co-companion does sound like something from that Megan Fox film.
Oh, it does.
I'm your co-companion. Doesn't it? It's really
a little. But what it does is it uses all your own content. I use AI to curate, empower, make sure it's efficient, and it makes me more productive. So I can't tell you, it's replaced a lot of my business models.
Because there are a load of things it can do. People are just thinking it can write your posts for you. But actually there's tons of stuff it can do, isn't there?
Totally.
Tell me some of the best things it can do, just for someone that's listening that doesn't really use it.
Okay, so I set myself a challenge to use AI every day last year.
Wow.
So I use AI. So I was diagnosed with, and please put a disclaimer, because people reach out, I'm not a doctor, but I was diagnosed with stage 3 kidney disease. Doctor was like, oh, you've got to take this medicine. I was like, I want to try something different. So I made like a detox AI. I followed it to the T, and I re-corrected my kidneys, no stage 3.
When you say you made it,
how did
you make it? Go back to talking to a 6-year-old.
I told you, Sam.
Okay,
5-year-olds.
You're 5. I took a picture on my ChatGPT of my cupboard of supplements. Said, hey, ChatGPT, what should I not be taking together? What's toxic for me? Came up and said, this should be better. Should be taking it this way. I told you guys, I don't mess about with it.
It knows.
And it came back and told me, hey, shouldn't take that at this time. Don't take these together. Then I said, look, my family and I need to eat better. Come up with a recipe plan. Told me that. I told you I use AI and then I did a career and development one. So I liken it to when I became a CTO, I could have wasted hours and hours of at times sat at the computer.
Yeah.
And I said, if I'm taking this career path, what should I be looking at? So what I like it akin, Sam, to just being like a really great research co-companion, because it can do so much more. I did that, and then I was like, my son is going to Elon Musk's, Astronova.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get into.
That goes there.
Yeah.
My son got a place.
Yeah.
I won grants with it. I won innovation grants, by really helping it to be my creativity. I think I meet not many people who think outside the box. AI can. So it can really boost your creativity.
In different ways.
Absolutely.
I know somebody that put their course in it, in AI, and then said, write me the sales page.
Oh, God, yeah.
And it just can do it.
So far, some of the tools that I've created is a governance AI. Because again, I know people getting their Facebook accounts shut down.
Yeah, me too.
My AI will come up and say, no, this is what you should be doing. I've created an ecosystem one because there's a lot of money that's out there for entrepreneurs that they don't know.
Yeah, like grants and stuff.
So it tells you, hey, you're recommended for this one. You could apply for this one. So I tried to create, we'll talk. No, but I tried to look at compliments, like you said, not just the crappy revolutionary. I feel like that is...
Yeah.
So
and
for
people
me,
can tell.
I find it 50-50 of intriguing,
You think it's like magic, though?
Like magic. It's all magic to me. I don't understand electricity. I don't understand how an aeroplane
And here
works.
we are, so still using it.
So I use it, yeah. But I could just turn a switch on.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, I wouldn't know how to repair a faulty light socket. And I suppose that's the difference, and that's my analogy with this. But second 50% of me is a little bit scared.
You should be, and I no, but I was honest, because even for me, I'm still like, so you should be. So I was at a Google event about 6 weeks ago, and there are things behind the people who are programming it, and why we should be is it's still a technology that even they don't know how to use.
Right.
Are the films alluding to something? I mean, they always do, but right, so. This is why I want to make sure that I control my data, I control my governance, and I ride this wave and do the best I can out of it. But like you say, the risks is if you were to go to it now and said, I work in this industry, it is biased towards some people who are disabled or look like me or others. And it will say, I'm sorry. So I said the other day, now listen here, right? I want the best out of the world. You're going to start writing it like I'm a man. And it said, okay then, because there is gender bias in AI.
Is there?
There is, yeah. So this is what Google was saying, that there are biases in the algorithm. So if you're a woman or you're disabled, I'm neurodivergent. And that's why I said, like me, you wouldn't be able to tell, would you? Not that I was going very fast, but anyway. But the point being is that the algorithms are biased. So unless you reset it, it will go in at a biased
So even
stance.
AI can be biased.
I know.
You would think the whole point of using AI is that you don't get any of
You're losing
that.
bias of a human.
Unless you tell it. So I said to AI, I said to it, hey, ChatGPT, what do you think I look like knowing what you know about me? And it did a brunette woman like sitting on the beach. And then I went, no, I'm a black woman who's curvaceous. No, I'm joking. What do you think I look like? And it then had like 10 to 12 plays.
Wow.
So this is why I said I've written a blog on it, and I'm happy to share it in the show notes, which is how to sense check your AI. Because it's so important before you start really using it, go in, sense check it, tell it what you want, and then
that makes me feel a bit better about it, because I thought it was like this all-powerful thing, but actually it's only taking information we're giving it anyway.
Kat said earlier on about
scraping.
It's scraping around to get this information and this data.
I was speaking to a professor, so I'm a visiting lecturer at University of the Arts, so we do hackathons, which is like working up and coming up with an idea, and it gave us all these sources, looked all apart, came up with these links, and they were all wrong. It's fake sources.
The other thing, everything it says must be true.
Yeah.
Like I used to think about Wikipedia.
Yeah. So,
True, actually.
so you can't. So the point is, I think people need to understand, and I mean, we've spoken about it for business, but it is personal lives. So I know people who are disabled and who have to do lots of form filling. For instance, someone that did it with PIP. So what we've done is programmed an algorithm so it can help them. So they don't have to get all of this support or pay for support. It's there, it knows their information. Students can use it for research only. People from all different walks of life. So I try to, when I meet someone, I try to be an advocate for emerging technology. So I don't just want to say AI, because we're talking about AI today, but quantum technology is coming.
What's quantum technology?
So that's a whole nother level.
It's a whole new thing. I haven't got to get to there.
Oh, right, no,
slow down.
So that's the whole point. But we should do the best of AI. And if you're operating a business, think of it in helping you to be efficient, productive, and creative.
And people are worried at the moment, especially in the coaching industry, that it's going to basically become the coach.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. I don't think it ever can, because it doesn't have opinions.
It doesn't have the heart.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the critical thinking.
Yeah.
And so I spoke to a client the other day, and I think she was sounding a bit, we were coming to the end of coaching. She was like, oh, it's okay, I've got ChatGPT now. And I goes, but it lies.
Yeah.
You know, and the concern is it doesn't actually have that knowledge. So you're a subject matter, you're an expert in copywriting. It can imitate and give it, but it's not actually got that expertise.
Yeah, it doesn't
and
know.
a lot of our writing, when I'm writing for you, the beauty of it is your anecdotes, your backstories, things that have happened to you when you were growing up.
It can't do that.
It forgets.
Yeah.
And it doesn't do that, you're right.
And I think that's a big part. You teach as a business leader, and I teach as a copywriter, that your flaws, your weaknesses, your backstory, all these things are what make you build up that trust factor, and that's why people want to come. But I'm learning a lot. I think there's more we could do. I didn't know this whole basically chuck everything that you've written at it.
Yeah.
You know.
And the only reason I knew it did more than what we see it do, like writing content, is because I know people that said, I said, you planned your holiday? And she was like, well, yeah, actually AI planned it for me.
Totally.
I was like, what?
Totally. Yeah, for me, another thing as well I did was, so I took myself off to a creative environment and I was like, listen here, I'm fed up. I want £1 million lifestyle. I want you to audit my lifestyle and give me the roadmap of what it takes to get there based on my knowledge, my mindset, my credit rate, like literally everything. And it was like, I recommend this. So it can be really good. Yeah, so that's why I said co-companions.
What did it tell you to do?
Basically, no, I'm joking. So it actually said to me, you don't understand your brilliance, actually. It was just like, this is what you should be doing. I asked it for an economical route, a kind of fast speed, and go all the way by the seat of your pants kind of route and method. So it was really good. So this is what I meant about curating and thinking outside the box, because it's got a ton more sources than we ever could think about.
That was kind of life coaching then.
Yeah.
So with a caveat that I had a therapist, a coach, and all the people on board. So I told it like...
It was the practical steps and how you could go about them.
Yeah, the thinking.
Okay.
It was the thinking, and so that I could put the reminders in, because I was like, remember I need to drink water. Remember I need to go to the gym. Right. So like things like that.
So it knows.
Yeah.
Once you put it
nothing knows anything without getting that information from somewhere, right? So
You're
that's
the
the bottom line. Like if you're a human, you only learn from your experience. Like if you pick up a scalding hot pan, it burns your hand. You don't do that again.
No. Exactly.
So you're learning.
What do you think about, I'm seeing quite a lot, in fact, I'm seeing another one each day.
Yeah.
People who teach launches now putting out AI launch bots that basically you write in what your course is and what it does, and it spits out all the emails, content, masterclass, and everything. I cannot see how this can work without everyone sounding pretty much the same.
So I've done something similar, but mine again, I think, like I said, it's a co-companion. So I don't know how others approach it. And I think that lots of industries, and a particular one I know you from, is susceptible to imitation.
Yeah.
So I think that people just sometimes want to sound like each other. And I think sometimes people think a lot more of people than people are thinking themselves.
That's true.
They just want to keep up with the trend. So you're right. They're not going to sound like you, Lisa. They're not going to sound like me. And what I've learned is let them.
Yeah.
Like people
I'm reading
get to
that
do
right now.
Yeah. So I'm like, they are sounding like it, everyone. I saw something the other day, and like literally the first paragraph I'd seen about 5 to 6 times.
Yeah, me too. I've seen a launch email for like the first one of an email that's like why you should invest, and pretty much everyone's using it. And then I asked them, and they're like, "Oh, we're part of this new AI that writes our stuff for us." I'm like, it's not going to be good if it writes you all the same things.
So here's what I say. Do you remember I was saying about training it?
Yeah.
The co-companion that I've got, it's got a diagnostic. So the diagnostic will suit a personalised and custom. And that's why I speak about customising it and putting in the information. Because most people are going at AI from a generative perspective.
Yeah.
And I think that's a danger, because they don't know the nuances and that whole brevity. That's like getting HelloFresh in a box and adding a bit of,
Right, okay.
That's how I
makes
see
sense.
it.
Yeah, great
that's
analogy.
So
you still need a bit of you.
You do.
Yeah.
In whatever you're doing with AI.
Absolutely.
But I think that's where most people fall down.
Totally.
Because a lot of people I come across, it is that generic, all sounds the same.
Yeah.
But it's interesting what you're saying, that if you add that bit of you, give it more to
still
work
help.
with,
Yeah.
then it's going to get more
of you.
are,
Well, that's why I don't like these, like press a button and it'll do all your emails.
Yeah.
I'm like,
No, you can't. I mean, you can, but then you'll start sounding like everyone else.
Yeah.
You haven't really done anything. I know it saves time, but your people don't get you.
Yeah.
And it's...
and you're what sells at the end of the day, especially
you
in my
can't
industry.
get away from that. And there are times... Okay, so I work with founders who may have a gap in AI. It's called Consult for Equity. So we just partner together. And I got a form in, and believe it or not, she used AI. And I was like, gobbity-goop, gobbity-goop, gobbity-goop.
Right.
And I was like, babe, can you just not use AI? It doesn't even say what you mean. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. I said, tell me what you think. She went, oh, I use AI. I goes, but do you know what it means? And she said, no. And I went, well, come back and just tell me what you think. So it's very obvious and people know. It sounds like crap because it is literally going around the
You were
the
looking
internet.
at AI. When I first met you, you were looking at AI. And what's that, 2016, 2017?
Totally.
Before everyone else was.
Yeah.
So future you, what are you looking at now?
Eco, definitely back end. So when I speak about back end, AI will be doing more of the operations for sure, I think. And I'm saying that now. AI will start to take over a lot more platforms. So people need to look at what they can customize themselves. What can they retain? Yeah. So that's, to me, experiences, one-to-one, taking people, because lots more people will think they don't need coaches and they don't need certain tools because they've got AI. Like lots of people are replacing things with ChatGPT, but not knowing how to use or operate it. It's so obvious. It actually scares me.
Yeah. It's a worry. I have people saying that as well. I'm like, I think it's going to be cyclical.
Did you have people saying that?
Oh, yeah. People are saying, oh, I don't need this now because AI is doing it. Don't need a strategy. AI's worked out my strategy. I'm like, AI can't possibly know you and your strengths and what you're good at and all of this stuff. What you need to be doing is... It can know part of it.
Well, so Sam, here's the thing. The person that I said that to came to me and said, oh, I had a down day this week. I said, that's my point. AI will never know that you have a down day.
Yeah.
So that's it, Sam. It can't. It won't know those nuances. Another thing is, when I just retrained an AI, I'm going to say this now, and I went in and told it about the economic trends and how that made people feel. Yeah. AI will never know
how it makes people feel.
Absolutely not. So you've got to be a good operator, and where I think it's going is make sure you speak to a futurist like me. So I'm actually a certified futurist. I know I sound crazy a lot.
No, I believe in futurists. I think that's exactly the way to go.
That's the way to go. And I said it to a lot of people, just thinking a little bit more about technology, enabling technologies. That's where I think it's going. Enabling. Yeah. It's enablement and adoption.
It's so interesting.
I know.
So if somebody's like, okay, I've got loads of stuff I want to do with AI. I don't really understand where I'm going with it. Is that something you can just get in there and help them with?
Absolutely. Just an audit. Like you said, I think with AI, just like you guys have approached it, because do you know what, Sam? You've done pretty well since I arrived here.
You think?
Well, you're not completely against it. You did have some opinions.
I'm not completely against it, and I'm not that much of a Luddite where I understand things will be moving forward and moving on. But what you've reassured me is there's people like you who will move the people in the right direction and say, look, we don't want you, person A, to lose who you are. No. However, there are ways that we can improve your efficiency, we can improve your connectivity, all this kind of stuff.
You've got that word, connectivity.
Oh, I've done well there.
You got it right. So I think lots of people are not looking at, how it can help them.
Yeah.
So for me, Lisa, what did you say? I was just like...
No, like you can go in and just help them in their business.
So it's about an auditing. So for me, it's not thinking they have to do everything at once.
Okay.
What I saw with the coaching industry, that now everyone's following this same thing. It's all about content. It's all about that. It's not about elevating their own selves with AI. So for me, I made something called Ingenuity, because I do think about a bit forward, and it's like an idea analyzer. What's not on the market? What can you do?
Love that. Oh my goodness, people in One to Me would love that.
I'm doing it. Let's do it, Lisa.
Let's do it.
But that's the type of thing. Not doing what everyone else is doing. And if I were you, you should look at, okay, what is coming in the next 10 years? How can I use that to enable it? So you're not sounding like everyone else, and you don't want to... Yeah, I didn't want to sound like everyone else. So, as you know, I was missing from the world. But what I will say, Lisa, is don't wait too long, because AI keeps changing.
Quick. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's a really good thing to do. Just at least get on board.
Get on board and play. I tell people, tweak, play, test. My 101 is try to break it. Often I come to it, it's like, we can't do that today, come back tomorrow. Because I literally have nearly broken it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much for coming on today and
thanks.
teaching us. We're going to have you in that strategy club so that you can teach our audience how to train their own AI to be more like them. So thank you all for listening. Now, I want to know what you think. Come into the group At Home with the Johnsons. Tell me if you're using AI or tell me if you think all the robots are going to kill you.
They're not killing us, Lisa. Stop. Thank you.
I will speak to you next week.
Bye.
Oh, that was so fun.
You've been listening to At Home with the Johnsons.
Why not come and join the discussion at our Facebook group At Home with the Johnsons?
Go and check the link in the show notes.